Hello, I'm Kathy Kinney. I'm an actress. I've been in a number of movies and television shows, but I think the role I'm best known for is Mimi on The Drew Carey Show. I wanted to ask you to do me a favor. Please listen to Justin Harvey on The Justin Harvey Show. Thank you, and bite me.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Martial Arts Radio Network. Up next, you will be listening to the USA Martial Arts Hall of Fame Show Host of the Year Award winner, the one and only Justin Harvey, producer, director, and on-air star of The Justin Harvey Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Harvey here of The Justin Harvey Show. I have a wonderful guest this morning with me, and excuse me for being a little nervous, but when I was in junior high, before I would always do my homework, I'd be like, Mom, Dad, I'm going to watch The Drew Carey Show. And so today, I am proud to bring Mimi herself, and if you don't like it, you can bite me. Kathy Kinney, welcome to the show, honey.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure to be here. And bite me.
Exactly. I am so honored to even be speaking with you today. It's unreal. So.
Well, it'll wear off in a minute, really, because you'll see. I mean, I think as I'm holding my fingers in the air like quotation marks and saying celebrity, but I never quite got used to that. People would come to me and they'd say, oh, we need a celebrity to help us with this charity. And I go, oh, well, I'll try and find one for you. And they go, no, we mean you. And I go, oh, I would always be so surprised. I don't know. I think that something's wrong in your world if you start to believe that you are a celebrity. I think of myself as a TV actress and a character actor, and that's my job, and it's a great job. I love it. But thank you for having me on your show.
I'm glad to have you here. And to begin with, I wanted to start with the Drew Carey Show. Can you talk a little bit how you got involved with that? And I understand that it was only supposed to have been a one-episode deal, and you ended up doing the whole series.
It's true. It was very miraculous in the sense that they were in the middle of shooting a 2-week pilot for the show, and the actress that they had cast, the network didn't like. You never know how many layers of people have to have approval on something, but so the network had told them, you need to find another actress. When they called in a woman, they had the wrong actress to the wrong photo, and they sent her home, and then they ended up having to have an audition after the end of the first week of their shoots. So my agent had called me. This is so long ago that they didn't even have, messaging or, I just said, I'll go to the audition. I'll get the script when I'm there and just learn it really quick. And he said, well, it's someone who's selling cosmetics. So I dressed up. In my faux Armani clothes, little red lipstick, little flippy hairdo, and got there and everyone was wacky cat glasses, wacky hairdos, and then I picked up the script and it said, a woman, it actually said, the meanest, ugliest woman in the world, she is all wrong for selling cosmetics. And I was like, I'm looking as good as I can, but I got in there and it was a director that I had worked with before, and he's a really cranky guy, and he was very cranky to me. This is the G-rated version of the story, He was very cranky to me, and it made me really angry, and that was what fueled my audition. And, I threw out the last line like, and I'll call my attorney or whatever, and I walked out the door and slammed the door, and I went home. And I didn't know that I had the job. Everyone was looking for me. So I went in, I worked on it for a week. I came home and then got a phone call saying, hello, we want you to be on there for 7 out of 13 episodes, which is a common contract, point. And but I think I did. That was 9 years, of that, and I think I only missed one episode, and that was because it was a retro all music, everything we'd ever done. They showed that episode. So 9 years later, I was still there having fun.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite episodes that really cracked me up is when you got mad at Drew Carey and you sent him off to, China. And
I know. I love that. I love that episode, too, but what happened was they were making all these plans to go to China, and I was like, wait a minute, you're going to China, but I'm not. I don't understand that, and because I really love to travel, and so they extended me the courtesy, and I went to China as well, although I didn't have to work, but it was my birthday, and they were all working on the Great Wall, so I went there to visit them, and they threw a little surprise birthday party for me on the Great Wall of China. It was the best birthday ever.
Wow. And I've gotten pumped up all week for this, and what I did was, even though I've seen them all, you was also in The Secret Life of the American Teenager. That's actually what got me into watching that show. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I can. It was so much fun because the woman who had created it had seen the Drew Carey show. She had a daughter who she had adopted, and the only thing that made her daughter happy and something that they bonded over was watching the Drew Carey show, because her daughter would laugh about Mimi. So she called me up and said, we have a role as Bunny, the manager of the butcher shop. Do you want to come in and do it? And so I said, oh, okay. And it was so much fun, although she wrote, on that show, they wrote these huge monologues sometimes, like a page-long monologue where I had to go around and, just march back and forth and say line after line after line. It was really difficult, but it was a great show to work on. Everyone from Shailene Woodley to, all the other guys that were on it, they were so much fun to work with. And I was just sad that I wish she would have called it, The Secret Life Forever of these people, because, once they graduated from high school, there wasn't much of a show. They weren't teenagers anymore, so the show had to end. Otherwise, I'd still be working on it.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful show. And actually, one of my other favorite characters that you worked with, I forget his name. It's off the top of my head, and he's following me on Twitter as of today. He played Leo Boykovich. He was one of my favorite characters.
Oh, he was great. What a great guy. And he'd been on see, don't get old, Justin. That's the problem. But everybody that was on The Secret Life of the American Teenager, they were the best actors. They were all so good. There wasn't a clinker in the bunch. So everyone that I worked with, that's the thing, you become good friends, family, and then all of a sudden everybody's gone and you don't get to see them anymore, and it's kind of sad. But I really enjoyed that, and I enjoyed everyone on the show.
Well, it's a wonderful show, and you were also you played an episode of Full House. How was the cast of Full House?
I know. That's so funny because that was so long ago. But I don't think I've met a clinker in the bunch since I've been in Hollywood. Oh, Steven Sharippa. Yeah. I knew if my brain would break loose, and that's who played Leo Boykovich, and such a talented actor from originally The Sopranos, but great guy. Always liked working with him. I think I can't think of anyone in Hollywood that I could say anything bad about, and certainly Full House was, those Olsen twins were so cute. They were really little at that time. I played a teacher. It was just, when you first come to Hollywood, you're looking for affirmation that you're worthy of being hired. And so I did a whole lot of shows, or these guest star shows like that, until finally you kind of, it's like rehearsing in a way. It's good practice, and then all of a sudden someone wants to cast you for something a little longer, and it's very rewarding.
And originally you wanted to be a nurse, correct?
I did, when I remembered when I got out of high school, just standing around with my friends, and one of them said to me, "What should we do?" And I said, "Oh, well, let's go be licensed practical nurses." And she was like, "Okay." And so we signed up and, got fitted for our uniforms. And she actually went on, and she still does that. And she's the person that you want caring for you or your family, because she's truly the salt of the earth, a good person. I think, on the other hand, I don't have enough patience. I think that I would have been a terrible, terrible nurse. And as it turned out, my story is that my father was very ill when I was growing up, and he passed away, and I was receiving Social Security benefits, and decided to use that to go to college, because it wasn't so much that I wanted to go to college, but I really wanted to travel. I've always enjoyed that. So in going to college, it changed my life, because I worked in the scene shop as a carpenter. That was my work-study job that I put myself through college with, and I got to hang out with all the actors and use all the power tools, and that was fun. And then when I was a junior, I did go semester abroad and lived in London for 6 months, and that was great. It was such a good thing. It wasn't, I didn't learn what everyone thinks they're going to learn when they're in college, but I learned how to run a great theater and how to be a good friend to people, and how to sort of grow up, which is pretty important,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had a good time in college, and I'm still pretty good with power tools.
That's awesome. Maybe we'll see you in a Home Improvement reboot, because they're talking about doing a reboot of that, actually.
That would be funny. Yes, I would be an unusual version of the Tool Time girl if they were ever going to redo that.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, because I've always wondered, like with the Drew Carey show, did they ever at the end contemplate actually putting you and Drew Carey romantically together instead of the brother?
It's funny, because I think that everyone sort of expected that. And I know people asked him, asked Drew Carey that all the time, but he would always say, "She's my arch enemy. We're not getting together." And it just never seemed very logical to us, to our characters. I mean, it was bad enough, and I say that in a comic way, that I married his brother and had a child, and then his brother ran away, and then I had to live with Drew, and that was kind of funny. But we were always just enemies. And I know that in most cases that seems like it would run to romance, but nope, never was going to on that show.
Well, actually, I'm kind of glad it didn't go in that direction, because with what you and Drew did together, it worked. I mean, the pranks, everything, it worked.
Yeah, it was really fun, and in fact, I just got an email a couple of days ago from someone that they're planning a Drew Carey reunion, which they do every couple of years, so that we can all get together and see what life has passed under the bridge. It's just nice to catch up with everyone, so that will be fun.
Oh, that'll be a blast, and I've heard that Drew Carey is a real nice guy. That's what I've heard. So
he is. He's a very nice guy, and he loves giving away other people's money.
Wow.
On The Price is Right. He's just so happy to give away big chunks of someone else's money, and he's such a good guy that way, very generous with other people's money, but also with his own, and loyal. He's a very loyal guy. So that I was lucky to work with him and everyone on the show. I just talked to Ryan Stiles, who has been on Whose Line Is It Anyway? And he, there's a new version of that, and he's doing that as well. And he was telling me that he was going to come to Los Angeles and do the show again. So it's always nice to catch up with everyone.
Wow, and I gotta say, Kathy, your Facebook videos, they inspire me because, I love just sitting and watching them. You're just so inspiring.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. That's what happens when you're an actor. There are long stretches between jobs. It doesn't really matter if you're talented or not, and you're only as good as the last thing you did. And so I had to keep myself busy. I think of myself as someone, not even sure if I think of myself as an actor, but I think that I lead a very creative lifestyle, which is the lifestyle that I would want to lead. And so I created that for myself, and I do that. And so I write a lot. I've written several books, and I'm actually getting ready to go with my writing partner, Cindy Ratzlaff, who we've been friends since college, and she lives in Pennsylvania. I live in Los Angeles, and people hire us to come and be keynote speakers and teach workshops, and we're getting ready to go to the University of Dayton to teach a writing workshop at the Irma Bombeck seminar. Every 2 years they have Irma Bombeck was this really brilliant writer. She was like the literary Roseanne, if you remember the old Roseanne Barr show,
Oh, yeah.
And so her family sponsors this gigantic writing workshop, and I'm going there to teach an improvisational writing class to the people there, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I find any way I can to just exercise my creativity. And the Irma Bombeck has this great quote where she said, "When I die and go to heaven and meet God, I want to be able to say, I have used every bit of creativity that you have given me, and it's all used up." And I thought, that's such a great idea that you just used everything you have, that, I write, and I write poetry, and I have a children's character, Mrs. P, and Mrs. P is a little bit Irish. We say she's a little bit more ish than Ire, but I love teaching children how to expand their creativity so that they can lead a creative life. To me, that just seems like a wonderful way to live. And you do that. You're very creative. I mean, and I'm so interested in the martial arts. I took a class, a self-defense class once, and it was all people who, led by people who had taught martial arts. So while I know how to fight for my life, but I don't know how to do martial arts. But I think it's fascinating. Life is fascinating.
That's totally awesome, because when I first started out, Kathy, it was a martial arts based, and now I'm starting to branch out into like entertainment, because see, when I was in high school, I was told, because of my disability, see, I've got cerebral palsy. I'm in a wheelchair 100% of the time. They told me that I would never have a radio show.
Oh.
So.
Well, they were wrong, weren't they?
Right.
And that's the point, really, in life. Yeah. I think, whenever someone says, well, you'll never, then it's very fun to prove them wrong.
Oh, yeah, I should have looked at them and said, bite me.
Yeah. Yes, you should have, Justin.
But, I just love talking to you. I'm living the dream right now. It's totally awesome, and wow. I hope you have a blast, at your reunion, and please tell Drew Carey I said hi, and I'm a fan of his as well.
I will tell him that. I will pass on your good wishes to everyone from the cast, and thank you for inviting me, and good luck with it. I think that's the thing that everyone needs to understand, that no matter what your disability, and everyone has some kind of disability, and that you can be whatever you want to be, that it's simply a choice. I think something that I think about a lot is this this quote. It's like, everything that you want is right on the other side of fear. And, all people need to do is just take teeny tiny little steps to walk through their fear and come to the other side. And there is what you want. So I really thank you for proving all those people wrong and for inviting me to be on your show. I just think it's really important to understand that we are all more alike than different, and just share our lives with each other to understand that. So thank you.
It's my pleasure, because I've wanted to do this for years, and I've watched you on TV, and I can really relate to some of these characters and some of these things that the writers even come up with. It's just a part of who I am. It's really helped me out.
Yeah, there's so many good writers out there, and that I don't think people understand that as much as they should, that as an actor, maybe you've got some timing and you look good or whatever, but the writers give you those words, and it's a great marriage between an actor and a writer to just whirl that all together and go, bite me. I never would have thought to say bite me, but, writers are good.
Exactly, and before I forget, so I don't get slapped, my mom and dad told me to personally tell you that they love you too, and in their opinion that you were the foundation of making the Drew Carey Show.
Oh, well, tell them thank you, and I love them for saying that. And when I hang up, I'm going to call Drew and tell him that they said that.
Okay.
Just to remind him. But, well, thank you so much, and have a really good day, and I will see you on the internet, I'm sure, Justin.
Absolutely, because I'm going to keep up with what you're doing, dear. So.
Thank you. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Justin Harvey Show here on the World Martial Arts Radio Network. Be sure to tune in again next week for his latest show. Thank you for listening.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Ma from World Martial Arts Media, and today I'm here to tell you about LegacyBelts.com. Legacy Championship Belts and Awards is the world's premier manufacturer of custom and cast championship title belts, who supplies belts to the top professional boxing, MMA, and wrestling organizations on the planet. If you're a promoter or collector looking for a high-quality MMA, martial arts, boxing, wrestling belt, or even a belt for a special event, then you need to visit LegacyBelts.com today. Be sure to like us at www.facebook.com/LegacyBelts. Hi, Stephanie Ma here again with a special report from World Martial Arts Media about LegacyFightGear.com. Legacy Fight Gear is the official supplier to the world's oldest and most respected martial arts organizations. They have been manufacturing high-quality, affordable products for over 30 years. Visit their new online catalog at LegacyFightGear.com today. School owners who want to raise money for their teams can register to get a wholesale account and become a distributor for LegacyFightGear.com. Don't forget to like our official page at www.facebook.com/LegacyFightGear.